Hello and welcome to my corner of the world. Today is my 150th video and I thought I would share my craft room with you. So it's one of the smallest rooms in our house and I share the room with my husband. That's his desk on the right, mine on the left. And so if we go around to the right, this is my workbench. And this is where I do all my videos, as you can see. I put all my samples together, all my ideas. Have a TV which keeps me company sometimes when I'm working on projects, but also I can plug my camera in so that I can see how my videos are going. And then I keep my scraps of white and vanilla cardstock here, so they're nice to hand. These are stamp sets and various dies and embossing folders that I haven't used in any projects yet on my little pop-up scrap bin. This book is well, basically it has everything in it, all my thoughts and ideas and plans for future projects. Then if we move along, this is my little shelf. Everything on here is like current ideas and things I'm working on. So my in colours for this year and last year. These are some stamp sets I want to use in my next Christmas card stamp camp. This is my online class to go, waiting for photography and videos, and then things like my Simply Chamois and some glue dots ready for me to use. As I go on here, I've got my little units I think I got from Michaels that have got tiny little bits and bobs in, and then my stamp sets. This is from IKEA. All my stamp sets fit in there, nice and neat and close to hand. And then I've got this little rack, and in here I keep various ribbons and embellishments that I haven't yet used, so I don't forget that they need to be used. So my workbench is about 8 foot long, and my husband made it for me several years ago, and you can see there's just a couple of kitchen cupboards that holds it together. As far as the drawers are concerned, I've got things like my stamping piercing mat, punches and things in this drawer, and then over in this drawer all my lovely blocks again at hand, so I can pick them out and use them. Now if I had my preference again, I would probably prefer to have drawers in my units, but since I didn't, I went and got a little drawer unit from IKEA, and this is where I keep my scoring tool, my trimmer and my Stamparatus. And then underneath, these are bits and bobs that might come in useful for various things. Then I have my spare plates and platforms for big shots. And then underneath, this is some shipping materials for when I do my online classes. And then the last two drawers have got items that I use when I create for my craft fairs. So they all go nicely together and are really handy. My little cart on this side is also from IKEA. It gives me extra storage, and then my husband put a piece of wood on the top so that when I'm working I can put my trimmer and my scoring tool on there, and they're easy to use. So then there's my constant companion, Miss Daisy May. She sits there looking out the window, and she'll sit there all day while I'm in here. So then my husband's desk, we'll go past that. My desk, computer, absolutely vital. Got my little fairy lights, got my various books and pieces up there that help me do my work, and some previous projects that I've worked on, just providing a little bit of decoration up there. So then this is my absolute Aladdin's cave. So in here is basically the closet that this bedroom would have had if it had been a bedroom. And this is where I keep everything. Brian fitted it out with shelving from the Container Store for me. And I've got some retired stuff up there, but up here is all my sponges. And here is things like washi tape and embossing folders. I got some adhesives. And here's my glitters and embossing powders. And then my cardstock. So this is all 11 by 8.5. I got this somewhere, this rack off the internet somewhere, and it's been really useful. I made little tabs at the end using the tab punch so that I could find my colours quickly and easily. These are little plastic drawers that I got, I think, from Walmart, and I'm able to keep things like my glue dots and my Stampin' Dimensionals. I have my dies, my embossing folders, my trusty printer, which is wireless and it's tucked here out of the way. These are all my envelopes. Looks like I need to do some reordering here. And again, down here, more storage shelves, more paper. Here I've got all my spare snails. And then the other side, let's see, I've got things like glue guns, my ink refills going on up there. And then again, more of these drawers. I keep my markers, they have to be kept level, so I keep them in there. And these are some twine. Let's see if I can get in there. Some twines just to make sure that they don't get lost. And then my punches. So all my current punches, and I'm a huge lover of punches, are all in these little plastic drawers. And then down here, I've got my specialist paper. So this is, I think it's like 14 by 14 or something like that, but it fits our 12 by 12 glimmer paper. So all my glimmer papers in here, underneath my foils, and then underneath that are things like the multi-purpose adhesive sheet, watercolor paper, and then I think there's also the clear sheets as well. And then down here, I just got stuff, but it's stuff that I can't do without. So they live happily in my little Aladdin's cave. So as we come out, we've got my credenza, and this is where I keep spare kits from classes, cards that I've made, samples, some files with designs and things in. And then I also keep my Big Shot here, and then some spare plates and a little trash can for the bits. And there's my October paper pumpkin kit waiting for my attention. Then over here, I've got my inks. So Stampin' Up! Have retired this colour caddy, but they haven't bought anything else out yet, so I'm going to carry on using it. It works perfectly well with the new ink pads. Here's one, and it sits in there quite happily, and it has my refills on the top. Next to it, I've got a little sheet here which just reminds me of the new colour families. There was some changing around, still getting my head around the fact that Real Red is now a Regal and not a Bright, and I guess one day that will get to come down. And then again, these storage units I have here are from probably Michael's or Joann's or somewhere like that. Up here is my designer series papers, and then down the bottom are my 12 by 12 papers, and then here is my precious ribbon drawer. And then I've got some of last year's ribbons just sort of sitting there just in case I need them. And then things like embellishments. So there you are. That's just a quick look around my craft room. I hope you found it interesting. I want you to know that it's never finished. It'll always be subject to change, and I just dove in, put my bench up, and then as time went on, I've managed to get it a little bit more worker friendly, but I'm sure it'll never be perfect. So thank you for joining me. Bye for now.